Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Dear Sky Meditators, I am very happy to welcome all of you to this spiritual session in English organized by the World Community Service Center IT team. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest of speaker today, Sky Professor Dr. Naresh Babu sir, who is going to inspire us on the topic World Order of Holistic Unity. Professor Naresh Babu started his journey towards Vedatrium in the year 1994 and has completed Arulindiyar course in 1997. Professor has been associating with Sky Yoga services for the past 10 plus years at Singapore and New Delhi. During these years, Professor has followed Maharishi's principles of life and made it a priority to increase the number of Vedatrium aspirants and spread Vedatrium to attain individuals' peace and ultimately to the world peace. Sir handles Sky Yoga classes in Tamil, English, and Hindi fluently and also manages the weekly Vedatrium Sky quiz for the last 2 years. Sir also translated Swamiji's Valkai Malargal Nalur Nachindanai as Daily a Noble Thought in English. At present, serving as Secretary of Delhi NCR Sky Trust, Sir professionally heading the Indian Treasury function of a Japanese bank at New Delhi. I now invite Professor Naresh Babu sir to deliver his speech on the topic World Order of Holistic Unity. Be blessed by the divine.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Salutations to Master Vedatri Maharshi. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you all. Today we are going to discuss about Swamiji's one of the noble action initiative of the World Order of Holistic Unity. Before we get deep into that philosophy, let me quote one of the instances happened in Swamiji's life. It was in Livingston College, Rutgers University, New Jersey. As many of you know, Vedatri Maharshi used to visit worldwide to spread Sky Yoga. Particularly United States of America, he visited several times to spread Sky Yoga services. During every trip, several people came to Maharshi, got initiated in Kundalini Yoga, started practicing them. In that journey only, at New Jersey, there were good number of people who were following Swamiji's teachings. There, they also wanted to make it much more public. Some of the students or aspirants were faculty of Rutgers University as well, and the students. So they wanted to make it more popular. So they arranged an event and asked Swamiji to explain the religion and the orders and everything. During that day, when Swamiji explained very nicely, just before the event, some of the very famous disciples of Swamiji, Mr. Chandrakant Kote and Mr. Sharma, they were all like every time whenever Swamiji used to visit US, taking care of them, guarding them, and providing all the facilities and services. Mr. Chandrakant told Sharmaji that, see, this is the big wonder. Swamiji has not even got formal school education, even the elementary level, but today he is delivering the speech for entire Rutgers University Hall at such a big event. Is this not wonder? Then Mr. Sharma said, this is not wonder. This is what the divines play. This is what the required for the entire Americans, which Swamiji is delivering. There were nice audience, full auditorium is full. Swamiji explained very nicely on the whole philosophy. Then after that, there was a Q&A. n number of questions left, right, on top, asking Swamiji about this, that. Swamiji explained everything. In that, one of the interesting question came to Swamiji. The aspirant asked, did you study world history? You are quoting so nicely, giving all the philosophy. Swamiji, did you study whole world history? Maharshi replied, I don't know world history, but I have not studied world history, but I can tell you what is world history. Then they asked, what is that you are understanding? Swamiji said, barbarous politicians, greedy businessmen, superstitious religious leaders. Whatever the crime these three people have done, that the world history is nothing but the chapters of all these crimes. Then there was a whole big applause, and it took long time for the applause to stop. This is what Swamiji explained what is world history. This is not just now imagine and compare the statement. What is world history? In the name of world history, we are only studying about the wars, how one group has defeated the other group, what are the big wars, how one cheated the other, how others have got injured, how others got suffered. All these things are compiled as world history, isn't it? This is what we are reading as Indian history, world history, and everywhere. History is nothing but recording all those sufferings of humanity. Why? Again, Swamiji giving the answer. This is just because the greediness, the lack of awareness. Who? The three systems on the mankind is impacting everyone's lives. What are they? Politics, economics, and religion. When the politicians are barbarous, when they want to retain the power, when they are not understanding that they have been chosen by the public to give a good ruling to them, they are doing misconduct. Same is the case of greedy businessmen. When they want to earn more money, earn more wealth, they are going and committing mistakes. Then superstitious religious leader. What do? They just want the authority to be remaining with them. So keeping the people in dark and confusing them about God, involving them, indulging them more in the religious practices. All these combination is creating troubles for the entire mankind even today. Then what is the solution? Swamiji comes with the solution of world order of holistic unity. What it is all about? Generally, we understand religion. What is religion? We say Hinduism is a big religion, Christianity is the largest religion in the world, Islam is ever growing religion in the world. That is what we are understanding. But Swamiji gives a nice definition how the religion comes. Religion is not established by any leader or any member or a person saying that I am establishing this religion. As a good person, the nature chooses them, explain them what the people are looking forward to hear. When more number of people are looking forward to hear the good thing, nature chooses certain people, through them explain the moral code to all of them. When the moral code was established by the followers, they say that this religion was established by so and so. Jesus Christ never said that I'm establishing Christianity. Prophet Muhammad never said I'm establishing Islam. It is the disciples who took care of and who understood this order is going to help the mankind, let us make it formal. Let everyone practice it, then move on. That's how each religion have come out. Then where is the problem? Problem started when people started to move around the places from one place to the other place to the other, like that. When they carry the baggage of the moral code, they ought to consider that my religion is superior, your religion is inferior. There you see the largest war, conflict among all the religions. And even today, human history, when we study, more number of people lost their life not because of natural calamities, but because of the war on the name of the religion. Why? Everybody misunderstood the original idea of the leaders who found the system. Because the guys who said, they said, do the good thing, understand the divinity, understand the nature, respect the nature, align your activities in sync to the nature, and do the moral virtuality, that is morality, don't harm anyone, duty, give back to you, self, family, and society. Then charity, go and help out. This is what the crux of all the religion. This is again happened with Swamiji. Generally, in Christianity, there are people believe that their religion is superior. It's not just Christianity. All over the world, every religion, every orders, people believe that theirs is superior. Nothing wrong in it because they know it, they like it, they follow it, and so they believe that is the best. But just think from the another perspective. Why the others are inferior? If mine is superior, I need to construe myself that yeah, mine is superior. Perfect, nothing wrong in it. But the problem start when you think the others are inferior. This is a beautiful story even happened in Swamiji's life. Again in USA, when Swamiji was there, some Christian preachers came to Swamiji, and they before they come, like they fix the appointment, they called Swamiji and said that we will be coming and meeting you. He said, fine, come. Then the disciples who were around with Swamiji, they told them, these preachers generally talk good about Christianity. They want to convert all the people into Christianity. They feel that is the big charity to the religion. So Swamiji, be careful, something like that. Swamiji said, it's fine. There's nothing wrong in it. Let them come. Then we will discuss. Same way they came and asked Swamiji, Swamiji, have you studied Bible? Then Maharshi said, I have not studied Bible, but I can say what could have been written in Bible. And these people asked, what is this? How come you, without studying Bible, you can say that what is written in Bible? Then Maharshi said, okay, what we could have only said that how food should be, how the prayer should be, how the habit should be, how everyone should teach the other not to harm and help if they are in suffering. Then these people got surprised and shocked. Then someone asked in the group, Swamiji, you said you have not studied Bible, but you have given the summary in such a nice form. How it is possible? Then Swamiji replied, see, this is not in Christianity or not in one religion. In every religion, this are the two chapters or the large two branches. One, knowing about the Almighty God, nature. Other one is the virtuous way of living, the morality, how to do, what to do, and all those things. So this is what covered in all the religion. So Christianity is not different to that. And so I said about this Bible. Then they said, okay, there is no point in trying to explain to Vedatri Maharshi to convert into Christianity or to explain the importance of the Bible, they said, let's go. Then Swamiji said, please go and come back. Because that's let's go is the practice used by the Westerners. In India, we don't say that just go, we say go and come back, right? That's what the order is. So what here Swamiji is trying to explain to them is, and to us also, is every religion is talking about these two chapters only. One is about the God and the other one is about the morality. Now, what is this world order of holistic unity? When Swamiji visited all across, he saw people at different places, different practices, and who came to Swamiji were questioning several things. Is this right? Is this good? Should we need to follow? This is not making sense. Why should I follow? And all these things. Then Swamiji explained the difference between the order and religion. What is order? Order is the Tamil word you can say Samayam. In Hindi or Sanskrit we can say Sampradaya. And religion is Dharma or Madam. What exactly the difference between the religion and the order? Dharma and Sampradaya. When man evolved as a human being, when they were roaming around as nomads, whatever was available, they used to eat, taste, enjoy the life, and moving around across the places. Then the population increases, and during the process, they saw that if someone spills the seed, if the seed is fall in the fertile places, it grows faster. The same seed, if thrown as a nut in the caves or some dry places, it doesn't grow. Then they understood, okay, this is how the tree comes or the crop comes. This is how the agriculture production starts. Okay, now what to do? Instead of I roam around all the places fighting with the animals and protect my gang and enduring the hardship, why not I start producing the crops? And that is the first step in the science, what Swamiji says. Converting the natural resource for the benefit of human being. So this is the first step of the science. Then they saw, okay, water is required, sun is required. Unless the sunlight is there, crop won't grow. Then slowly they started the cultivating practices. During that process, they stayed behind the trees. Then the crop fields were larger. They started to set up the tents. And that tents only have transformed into multi-story towers today. And it started with the simple tents in the consciousness of the human being. This is how the evolution started. During that process, when this crop production started very nicely, the people's knowledge or consciousness started to go around that. First, it was to meet the basic needs. Then, second, it started to grow up for the convenience and comfort. Then, further, wanted to understand why they are evolved as a human being, who is controlling them, and what will happen to them afterwards. These thoughts made them to understand, realize the nature, the Almighty, the God. Then when someone understood all these things, they wanted to stay in the same static state once they realized. But the people around them went to them and said, you looks very calm, quiet. You also tell me the secret and also explain me doubts. Those people who realize they don't find the better words to explain because the examples are not so easy to find those days. Even today also, we have little bit challenge, but scientifically the electricity is there, so it is easy to explain the magnetism, so we can explain the entire evolutionary philosophy of Swamiji. But during those days, when even the wheel was not introduced, when even the electricity was not there, you can imagine how difficult it would be for anyone to explain the static force. So they said it is the formless, colorless, shapeless, like that they were trying to give all the words. The people who are receiving, they could not understand what exactly it meant. So they made it like a lingaru, which is a formless shape. So then, okay, this is the ultimate thing. This is taking care of us. So let's pray that that's how the Shaivism or Shiva Sampradaya started. Then what happened? The people who explained, they slowly could able to explain the energy, the fundamental energy particle, which evolved from the same static space. They call it as Shakti. Then that order was known as Sakta Samayam or Sakta order, because it is considering the concept of Shakti. So it was known as Sakta Samayam. Then over a period of time, because of the rotation of fundamental energy particle, the Akash, the sound and light is coming. Okay, how to explain with the examples? For sound, they kept Shanku, and for light, because it is rotating, they kept Chakra. So Shanku and Chakra, they form the order of Vaishnavism or Vishnu as a god. Again, it evolved over a period of time. Then people said, okay, sun is giving all the energy for the crops to produce. Even we can also live healthy if sun rays are falling on us. And not just sun, all the natural Panchabhutas are helping us in our day-to-day life. So everything is Deva, the god. So they call Varuna Deva as the rain god, and Agni Deva as the fire god, Indra as the head of all these things, Surya as the main god to give everything for the globe to function. Then that order was termed as a Saura Samaya because it's evolved from the Surya. Then slowly it evolved over a period of time. Panchabhutas were evolved. So they wanted to look for some shape. They could not. So when they saw elephant with two legs and one trunk, okay, they termed it as a Ganapatya and the god as a Ganapati. Then further evolved who like understood the magnetism, and that is Kanta Shakti. So Skanda was made as a god, and the transformation of the same magnetism as pressure, sound, light, taste, smell, and also as a mind, the same magnetism being transformed. So that was known as Kaumara or Kumara Bhagwan or Skanda Bhagwan, like that. So every order was made just to explain the nature, Almighty, the God. But the ultimate thing was set at the static force and the functional state of the same static force as the energy field, and this was explained. Then why there are differences? Differences are because of lack of awareness amongst the people to understand the concept. So when the leaders who took control of those orders, they started inserting superstitious activities as the rituals. Even today, several activities of us are may not be fitting to the current reality. Good example quoted by Swamiji is about the religious festival. One good example is, say, Shankranti or Pongal. When it is being celebrated, it is celebrated when the rice production is complete. When the rice crop is cultivated, the people wanted to celebrate, distribute the wealth amongst every person who was helping them to complete the cultivation. That was celebrated as a festival, and the charity works were done and it was distributed amongst everyone. So based on the production, everyone had money or some equivalent economic wealth. bought the new dress, new equipments, new ornaments, and they celebrated. Similarly, where the wheat production were going good, they celebrated as the Diwali festival at some places in that. When people club together for business or education or some other purposes, when they move from one places to other, these people took their festivals and those people took these festivals. So now what happened? As a ritual, we are celebrating all the festivals, be it Diwali, be it Sankranti, be it Navaratri, everything. But if you have enough earnings, if you have the requirement to purchase new clothes, new equipments, new ornaments, please do. But in the name of rituals, even if you don't have money, but to celebrate the festival you want to purchase, there you think whether it is making sense today. Yes, the festival was evolved over a period of time for the specific purpose. Whether we need festival today? Yes, we need the festival today to bring the cheer, to bring the happiness, to get the sales, to get all new mood swings. But if I don't have money, should I celebrate the festival as a lavish one? There you think through. If you can, reform your activities. Swamiji never says that don't celebrate festival or don't do this ritual, don't do that ritual. He only says analyze every action of yours. If you feel it is making sense, please do that. If you feel it doesn't suit to the current requirement and the situation, think through it. That is the beauty of Swamiji. So even Swamiji quotes that. He says, the people who did a lot of religious reforms were not allowed by society to live long. Great spiritual leaders, including Shankara, Vivekananda, etc., were not living for the longer duration of their age. The reasons are best known, the theories we need not speculate. But Swamiji said, I am knowing all these evils of the society. I never condemn any of the activities. I only try to explain what is good, what is bad, and make the people to understand what they need to practice. If they don't understand, it is fine. Let's give our good values. It's for the individual to accept and practice, or time will make them understand when they want to practice. And the same should be followed by all the Sky Yoga aspirants even today. Just because we do Turyatita meditation or divine state meditation, we should not be going and telling the others what you are praying as a God is not a God. This is not, the sculpture is not the God. Don't ever do that. If you can explain them when they are in a position to understand. And again, static state and energy field cannot be understood unless someone practices meditation. Because by doing meditation only, they can reduce the mental frequency. At the lower level of frequency only, these truths can be transformed as the inner knowledge. It cannot be understood when anyone else is standing on the higher frequency. So it is very critical to do meditation to understand the concept. Then for doing meditation, your physical body should be cooperating. So what you need to do? First, do the physical exercise so that your body is healthy. When you sit in the meditation, you can focus on and do the meditation. If you don't do that, obviously, if you sit in the meditation for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, 18 minutes you will be diverting all across and then just doing 2 minutes focus on the life force. So it's critical. First take care of the body, then which would supplement for your mind, which would lead to realization, which would make to understand the natural facts. Okay. So what is the problem here? The problem here is everywhere in our life, not just Tamil Nadu or India or in any country or any continent, all across the world, the political leaders, religious leaders, business leaders, when they act in not in unison, not in the common interest of the public, the crime starts, and result of which everyone is suffering. So to clear all those perils, all those troubles, this world order of holistic unity has been established by Vedatri Maharshi. In Tamil, it was known as Ulaga Samayam. In English, it was known as World Order of Holistic Unity. Again, here, this is not a religion. This is the order. What is the difference between the religion and the order? In the religion, the rules are strict, no addition, no subtraction. But in the order, every time you can analyze what is good, what is not good, and you can go on reforming it. Accordingly, in Los Angeles, Swamiji, during Swamiji's period itself, this world order of holistic unity was properly registered. And even at Tamil Nadu, when Swamiji came back, he wanted to establish this Ulaha Podu Arulneri Samayam, the equivalent meaning of world order holistic unity, keeping Kumbakonam as the center. Why he chose Kumbakonam? He said Adi Shankara has established his first mata, the place at Kumbakonam, and not just Adi Shankara, several religious leaders have established their practices from Kumbakonam. Adi Shankara Swamiji had a huge respect because he only explained the Advaita principles in the new form and in a new order. So, giving that tradition, let's also set up this world order of holistic unity or Ulaga Podu Arulneri Samayam's Asian chapter head office as Kumbakonam. Accordingly, the trust was also formed and it was evolved over a period of time. Again, one more good interesting fact here is the 1st January 1986, 1986 was the date Swamiji claimed as the World Order of Holistic Unity date. So even several Unbolis, the monthly journals what we used to publish, in that we used to publish that this is world peace year so and so, which is exactly like whatever the current year you reduce to or link it with 1986, and that's how the years were counted. So this is how it was evolved over a period of time. Why we are telling now? It is all Swamiji's great philosophy and his great vision. Let's sync with that. The more the people we sync with this philosophy, think it again and again, spread to all the Sky Yoga aspirants, it will help us to spread the Sky Yoga concept and help us to attain the world peace so that we can be peace even individually at our own end, but also as a society, also as a world. Right? So that is the ultimate purpose of World Community Service Center. To do that, this world order of holistic unity is very critical, and that's how the entire Vedatrium concepts are fitting into that order. The order simply says, understand, realize the divinity, do your activities as a moral code. Moral code is what? Virtuous life. Virtue is what? Three things: morality, duty, and charity. And what Swamiji says, this is not by my religion or your religion. This is what told in all religions, all orders. People wanted to explain good things to everyone, and that's how it has been established. And let us do the actions in such a way that everyone accepts it and start practicing it. Here, Swamiji also says it should not be done as a revolution, not as a purachi. It should be done as a collective efforts, as a tirachi. Like each one should understand the importance of this broad principle, follow it, so that it evolves as the world order. It's not that I enforce it, you follow this, or you will face punishment. You do this, so you get priority. Otherwise, you will not get the priority. It would never happen in that. For the world peace to blossom, the world order of holistic unity to be accepted and adapted as a practice by all the human beings. Let us do our effort on the path defined by the Swamiji and work towards this great vision. With this, I conclude my speak here. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to IT Department of World Community Service Center. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine.
Be blessed by the divine. Thank you so much for the excellent speech, sir. Dear Sky Meditators, our professor has very well explained about the world order of holistic unity. Our Guru Yogiraj Vedatri Maharishi felt that everyone should be taught about the philosophy of life at the younger age itself. He felt that the changes towards better living should happen intuitively. To make it happen in the young minds, the education system should include yoga as a part of the curriculum through which morality, duty, and charity will become possible. Such education becomes possible through the efforts of our Vision for Wisdom, an institution envisaged by our Guru Yogiraj Vedatri Maharishi. Our Professor Naresh Babu sir has very well explained the difference between the world order and the religion, and how everyone should analyze the current situation and follow the world order of holistic unity. Thank you so much for the excellent speech, sir. Now the forum is open for discussions. Please click the raise hand button in your Zoom app to ask your questions. While you get ready with the questions, we have some important announcements to make. Practice Kayakalpa Yoga regularly and improve your immune system. If not yet learned Kayakalpa Yoga, please visit kayakalpayoga.edu.in or download the Android application. Also recommend it to your friends and relatives to practice Kayakalpa regularly, especially during this COVID time. Our monthly journal Unbully is also available in the Android app. Download the Android application from the Android Play Store and get access to the premium content of our Swamiji speeches. As you may be aware, we are daily uploading rare audios and videos of our Guru in the Unbully app. So please download the app from the Android Play Store. Also connect us with us on Facebook and YouTube at Sky Yoga TV to listen to all the past speeches of our professors on various aspects of Sky Yoga. Karma Yoga principles of Vedatrium suggest donating 1% of our income to the good causes of society. Be generous and donate to the World Community Service Center. There are multiple channels to do that, either through the Unbully app or through our official website vedatri.edu.in. Just to mention, you would get section 80G IT exemption as well for these donations. Now let us move on to the discussion session. If there are any queries, please click the raise hand button in your Zoom app. Our professor is ready to clarify any doubts. It seems there are no queries among today's participants. If you have any specific query, Usha Devi ma'am, please unmute yourself.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் சார். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ma'am.
Sir, can I speak to Tamil?
Yeah, sure ma'am. Please.
ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது சார். ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இருந்து ஃப்ளோ, உங்களுடைய அந்த வாய்ஸ் ரொம்ப அருமையா இருந்ததுங்க சார். ரொம்ப நிதானமா நீங்க ஒவ்வொரு விஷயமும் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணது வந்து ரொம்ப 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 எக்ஸலண்டா இருந்ததுங்க சார். அதை சொல்றதுக்காக தான் சார் இதை கால் பண்ணேன் நான். ஓகே சார். வாழ்க வளமுடன் சார். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ma'am. All our Swamiji's principle, like we are parents. See, the thing is, even in our Indian philosophy,
Yes.
parrots attract a higher value than the uh, other birds. Even cuckoos make very nice song, but parrot is considered as a divine bird, and it is there in all the temples and idols. Why? We are also, if we replicate and repeat what Swamiji says as a parrot, then the speeches would be nice. The moment we influence with our own thoughts, there we have all the problems. So we should not never, like, we should never become cuckoos. We should be parrots, I guess. வாழ்க வளமுடன். It's all Guru's credit only, ma'am.
Super, super, super. Thank you, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Be blessed by the divine. Yes, sir. As you rightly explained, all should be parrots of Swamiji's philosophy. Next, Kasturi ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் sir. Sir, I am Kasturi Sridhar from Vellore, Sankaranpalayam Sky Trust. Your speech is really wonderful, sir. ஒரே மாதிரியான ஒரு ரிதம்ல நடத்துனீங்க, ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்ததுங்க சார். புரட்சியில இருந்து திரட்சிக்கு சொன்ன விஷயம் வந்து மகரிஷி சொல்லியிருக்கிறது ரொம்ப அற்புதமா இருக்குங்க. அதை நீங்க விளக்குனது ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்ததுங்க சார். ரொம்ப நன்றிங்க சார். வாழ்க வளமுடன் சார்.
தேங்க்யூ மேம். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Thank you, ma'am. Uma Shankar sir, please unmute yourself.
Hello, Valgodalam sir. Hello.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் sir.
Sir, I'm speaking from Bangalore, Uma Shankar. So actually, I'm having a general question, sir. So that is why I called, if you don't mind. See, in fact, some like 10 years back, I joined this Sky Yoga, but later I discontinued because of some reasons. Now I am regularly practicing Sky Yoga by seeing like 6 to 7 Vedadri Maharishi. Earlier, we'll get the exercises and all. And meditation, I am actually having a problem with the meditation because I lost the touch now. I'm doing Kayakalpa meditation, and even first level of introspection I done, but later I'm not having a touch, but regularly I'm listening all these things. But now if I want to continue this meditation, I need to go to the nearest center after this this lockdown and corona problems sorted out. Then I take a agna, then I have to start how I should be done, because I'm a little confused.
Okay, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன். I think you have the answer for your question as well.
Okay.
The exercise is important. The moment you do exercise, actually the body gets ready for the meditation and other spiritual activities. If you don't do exercise, obviously meditation won't be giving the desired result, or you can't basically focus. Good thing is, like once the center is open, you can go to any of the nearby center. And when you say that you want touch, obviously the volunteers, the masters who are working there would help you to get the touch, and that will be supportive for your meditation. That is number one. But if the lockdown is extended, what should you do? Right? That's the second question. The answer for is surrender to Guru, Vedatri Maharishi, nothing else. When the initiation was given to you on the day one, that time itself his life force added with your life force, then only the path was shown to you, and that's how you felt the pressure in the Agna Chakra. So even today, Maharishi's life force is mixed with your life force, mingled with your life force. Surrender to Guru, sit in the meditation. Maharishi will help you to feel senses, pulsation at all chakras wherever you want to focus. So once the center is open, you can go to nearby center. Till the time, do meditation in the proper procedure as per the pamphlet shared with you. The purification of the surroundings, purification of self, prayer to the master, and then do divine protection. Okay, sir?
Thank you, sir. One more small question, sir. Actually, yes, like almost from 15 days, I'm regularly doing these exercises. But while after I did Makarasana and other things, part 2, so my left leg above the leg, that is todai we call it, no? Pain actually. So whether to like slowly practice, or I need to discontinue only that Makarasana or something?
Sir, maybe if the trouble persists, you can check with any of the medical practitioner what should be the issue. But don't stretch yourself. If you feel some kind of uncomfort, move on to the next exercise. And if you do all the exercise from hand till relaxation, slowly any disease in any part of the body will be all right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Very nicely explained, sir. Next, we have again Kasturi ma'am. Please unmute, ma'am.
Sir, வாழ்க வளமுடன், sir. Sir, you had compared one event that Adi Shankaras and or Swamiji's Anboli app. Kindly repeat that event, sir.
Not okay. Actually, there are two different references.
Okay, sir.
Even in the the World Order of Holistic Unity was first registered in US in Los Angeles. Then at India, it was registered as a trust, the Asian Center for World Order of Holistic Unity, Ulaga Pudu Araliyari Samayam, at Kumbakonam. Swamiji felt Kumbakonam is more relevant because from there only several religious philosophies have started, including Adi Shankara's Advaita philosophy. Adi Shankara, at the age of 32 years, he was no more, or he attained salvation. But during that Adi Shankara period also, he undergone several troubles, as some of you would have read his stories or seen the movie. Even when his mother died, he was basically the Jati Prashta, right? He was like thrown away from the order. He was not considered that. So even when his mother was died, people were not willing to even take her body to the cremation ground. So he had to cut into pieces and then carry. There was a very tough story, right? So the idea is like he was proper reformist. He wanted to explain to the people, these things are good, these things are bad, don't do that. Whenever someone explains that, society doesn't accept them well and not treat them well, and that is the curse of the society, what Swamiji says. And also he says that I am also not knowing this problem, I don't enter into that. I always say that these are the good things, you do that. If you don't accept, I won't force you that you don't do that or don't do this. But whatever the good, analyze, think yourself and do the good things. Similarly, as a sky aspirant, as several of us are sky masters, we should also be following the same model devised by Swamiji. We should explain this is good, this is bad, and leave it to the people to decide what they want to do. From our end, we can explain what we realize, what was shown to us by Swamiji. There our job ends. I hope I answered your question, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I have some doubts, sir. I will kindly send your recording, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
To the Sky Professors group, kindly you send your recording, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. வாழ்க வளமுடன். This speech will be uploaded in YouTube and I will share the link later. And since there are no more queries, let us conclude the session. Thank you so much, sir, for patiently answering our questions and sharing your insights and divine thoughts today. It's now time for us to express our gratitude to our professor. Please come to Durya State. Professor Naresh Babu sir, be blessed by the divine. His good health, be blessed by the divine. His loving family, be blessed by the divine. His divine service, be blessed by the divine. We would like to extend our blessings to the Sky Meditators for their kind donations made yesterday. Your generous donations will help us a lot to save the society. By the grace of divine, may you and your family enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, peace, prosperity, and wisdom. Be blessed by the divine. We are happy to bring the following online programs live from Aliyar Temple of Consciousness tomorrow. Morning 6 a.m. exercises in Tamil, 7 a.m. 9 center meditation in Tamil, 7:30 a.m. 9 center meditation in English, and by 11 a.m. speech in Tamil on the topic ஆனந்தமாக கற்பிப்பது எப்படி by Senior Professor Satyamurthy sir from Bangalore. Evening 6 p.m. Duryatita meditation in Tamil, 7:30 p.m. Duryatita meditation in Telugu, and by 7:55 p.m. there's a speech in Telugu on the topic Greatness of Women by Professor Prasad. Please share the program invite with your friends and relatives. Let everyone take part in this spiritual journey and get benefited. We thank our beloved President Arunidhi Padmasri S.K. Mailanandan sir for his leadership and guidance. See you all tomorrow with another interesting session. Till then, be safe, practice our Kundalini Yoga, especially during this COVID time. This is Ramesh from the Alyar World Community Service Center IT team. Be blessed by the divine. Good night.